Hello! My camera is positioned in a really weird spot, but we're gonna paint a gnome. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen me do all these gnome welcome signs. They're on huge 10 by 1 boards and they're about 11 inches wide. This one we're gonna do, it's about a foot long here, just a piece of barn siding. And we're gonna paint an easy gnome. Anybody can do this. It's too simple to mess up. So here we go. Very easy. I'm not gonna do a lot of shading or anything like that. The first thing I do is get you some little black paint on a paintbrush here. I use acrylics. And we're gonna do a little nose. You can do oval, you can do circle, you can do whatever you want. You get that going. You start at the top of his nose, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Go at the top of his nose, and you go down, and you loop. Top of his nose, and you go down. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you loop. This is basically just doing a little outline for his hat. We're gonna fill it in with some color. And then we're gonna go up here. Give him a little curlicue. Like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the start of the shape of his hat. And then let's give him a really long beard. It's gonna be a little outline for us here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna grab a different brush and we're gonna go in with some color. Got a little fatter brush and we're gonna do some teal. It's just this apple barrel Caribbean color. I think I got this at Walmart. I think they're like 50 cents a bottle, maybe something like that. And then you fill in where you did his little hat. We're gonna do some teal. I don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot of shading. Just so you guys can see how to do it, and you can practice these if you want. And actually, when you use these acrylic paints, the black will kind of re-wet itself and should give you a little bit of shadowing there on the edges. But this one's going to be super simple, super easy, nothing fancy. When I do the welcome signs, those take me anywhere from like 5 to 7 hours to do. I spend a lot of time on shading and highlighting and all that. And I seal them so that they're good for outside so they don't get yucky. And I wish I was better at doing videos. Last time I had my camera taped up on the cabinet. Yeah, the cabinet in the kitchen. This time it's taped up on a lamp so that you can see what I'm doing. I am super technical and just absolutely wonderful at videos. I don't edit them because I don't know how. And so if I mess up, you guys just get to giggle at me. So we're gonna do his hat, and I get skinnier as I go up and make him kind of wobbly. And this barn wood, if you guys have something flat or like a canvas to paint on, it's going to be a lot easier if this barn wood is rigid, and so it's harder to get the color on here. And if I were not technically challenged, I could do this in like speed up fashion, so it wasn't going to take as long, but you also wouldn't have to listen to me babble. That's not the case. You're going to have to listen to me babble. And I really hope you all can see what I'm doing. So I think I'm done with the gnome welcome signs. I need some ideas for things that you guys want to see for spring and summer. I did a few Valentine's Day sock gnomes like I did for Christmas. I think I'm done with those. I just don't decorate a whole lot for Valentine's Day. Some people might, I don't. Okay, we're just about done with this hat. Can you see this black over in here along the edges? It's kind of acting as a shadow. Like I said, these lines don't have to be perfect. There you go. That's the start of his hat. It is not hard. Anybody can do this if you try. If you just want a simple gnome, this is the way to do it. It does not have to be as detailed and highlighted and shaded and fancy schmancy. If you're just wanting something cute to sit on a shelf or hang on a wall for a little bit. So you could do your own Valentine's Day gnome easily. Okay, now I'm gonna do his nose. When I do the big welcome signs, I use a big brush, this one, to do a little swirl in the center for his nose. But this one, yeah, I think I'll just go back in with the brush that I had. This one. And for his nose, I always use this. I get it at Joann's. It's Delta Creative Cream Coat Natural Beige. And it's like the perfect nose color. So you just go right under his hat. Do a circle, do an oval, do whatever you like. If the paint blends in, it's not a big deal. I got it up into the blue on his hat, it's fine. We'll do a little black outline when we're done. Okay. Here we go, we have a nose. And got some teal in there. No big deal. So now, I'm going to use our black, and I'm going to get a little thin brush, if I can find it. And do some little lining on his hat, so it looks like he has a brim on his hat. I'm going to dip it down so it looks like it's kind of slouching down over his nose. I really hope you guys can see this. There we go. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit for just a tad bit of shading. And go back in with the blue we just used and kind of go over it so it's not such a harsh line. We'll kind of blend it and look like some shadows. And I am by no means a professional painter. This is just something I do for fun. And I'm probably doing it all wrong. I don't know. I took some art classes in college and I just like it, so I don't know if there's any wrong way or right way to do it, but so there we go. We'll take a little bit of the black and the blue, lighten it up a little bit. We'll give him a little crease over his nose. And we'll do a little slouchy line there, a little slouchy line there. And do some black for some shading. And if you guys want, you could spend hours and hours and hours doing this. It top of his hat, I always do a little bit of white just for some highlights. And I like to do the tip of his hat. And blend that in. Get some more blue, kind of mix it in there to lighten it up. Do you think anybody would want this as a giveaway? All my practice pieces I try to give away because I have too many things. Can't keep them all. I have no room. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. Can you guys see it? That's where we're at. Cute little gnome. We're gonna go to his beard now. I'm gonna take some black and some white. We're gonna make us some gray for the base of his beard. And you don't have to do this if you don't want. You can just do white, but I like to add the gray because it does add a little bit more dimension. Excuse me, you just swipe it down like so into an angle. You're going into a point, and again, this does not have to be perfect either. It's all going to get mixed in with the black and white that I'm going to add to the beard. So I've never seen a perfect beard. They're always fuzzy and messy anyway. I wish I knew what to talk about during these. I do want to know, like, if you guys do watch this video, let me know. Let me know, especially if you try to paint this. I promise you, it is not hard. You go up here along his nose. Again, it does not have to be perfect. We're going for just a cute, simple little thing here. And you guys could do your own for Valentine's Day. You could give it as a gift. The paint you can get for like 50 cents a bottle. And you can mix colors if you just get your basics. Get white, black. If you get red, orange, and white, you can mix your own skin color. So again, that doesn't have to be an extra expense to get a color to do your nose. And we'll give him a little jacket. Go down like so. Sometimes I do these with no jacket and I just bring the beard all the way down. Whatever you guys want to do. You can go right over his beard if you want, because again, we're going to go over that with some white and probably some black, maybe some more gray, kind of blend that in a little bit. Sometimes I do shoes. I'm not going to do shoes today because I'm just trying to make this super easy for you guys. I'm going to pick this up in a minute so you can see what I'm doing to make his little coat or outfit, whatever it is he's wearing here. Like I said, this would be a lot easier if it wasn't barnwood. Can you see how rigid this is? I'll pick it up and show you here in a second. Can you see how rigid that is in there? It's not a smooth board. So if you guys have a canvas or something smooth, it's gonna go on even easier. It just takes a little while longer because this is rigid. And okay, we've got his little outfit on. I usually don't do hands either unless I make him holding something, which I don't think we need to do. Just leave him like this. He's all cute. Okay, this is where we are so far. He looks like a gnome. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I'm gonna go back up to his nose. I'm gonna get a little pink. You gotta have a little rosy nose. It's cold outside. And I just dab in some pink. Get it off my brush in the water, and then I go back in with the beige and I just tap it in. The pink will blend in. If you want to add more pink, just go back into it and dab it in just until you're happy with it. I think that looks good. He's got a little rosy nose. And then I always do a little highlight over the top, so I go back in with some white. We give him a little highlight there in his nose. There we go. Can you see just those simple little lines do shadows and the creases? Can you see the little pink in there? Kind of hard to see on the camera, but we'll go into his beard. And I am going to use a thicker brush so we can get some thicker whiskers. And I just go over it like so. If your jacket isn't dry, you will get some teal mixed in there, or whatever color you choose, and you'll have to rinse off your brush. Now keep in mind, I am not spending a lot of time with the highlighting and stuff. This is just a simple gnome for you guys to do at home. And then, when you get comfortable with it, if you try it, you can work more on your shading and highlighting, whatever you want to do. And again, I am not a professional. I do this for fun. It just amuses me. Okay, looks like we got a beard going here. Get it up under his nose, around his nose. I just got it on his nose. Which again, not a big deal. If you mess anything up, guys, don't worry. You can paint over it. You can start completely over, even if you want. I mean, it's not a big deal. So you can see I got a little white there on his nose. I'm just going to go over it again. Clean it up. And he's all good as new. Give him a little nose job. I'm a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon. Now, you could leave it like this if you want. It does have some depth in there because of the gray underneath. You can add some black if you want even more. I just do a few little black strokes with a very thin brush. And you just kind of go over them to blend them. And with the white, bring some down here. Kind of do it on the edges to define the beard a little bit. I feel like such a goofball doing these videos. I talk to myself a lot anyway, but on here, it's an awful lot of talking to yourself. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to do a little outline of his nose with some black. This is just going to define it a little bit more. And I'm going to bring some little whiskers down under his nose, and I really hope you guys can see me. I'm trying really hard to stay back here out of the way. And go under his hat a little bit. It just adds a little bit of dimension. way under his hat. Just kind of blend it down. Blend it in. You guys ever talk to yourself this much enough, like that you could do videos? Because I tell you, it's kind of rough. That's why I didn't do a live. Not to mention my phone is taped to a lamp, so it's kind of hard. Okay, can you see that? Do it up close so you guys can see. We got the black there around his nose. We've got his beard all done. If you want, you can outline the whole thing in black. You don't have to, but I usually do just because it makes him stand out a little bit more. I go around everything. His hat and all. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I do it just because usually the wood that I'm painting on is super dark. And it just helps the colors to stand out a little bit better. And it does not have to be perfect. You do not have to like stay in the lines or anything like that. It just adds a little bit of shadowing behind it. So you can see his hat better. Okay, I'm sure you guys probably can't see what I'm doing. But hopefully this will be quick enough and easy enough for somebody else to do. Now I am going to put a wall hanger on the back of this. Somebody could set it on a shelf or hang it on the wall. These little guys are just so cute. They're really addictive. Then I'm going to do this line here on the brim. I'll darken those up a little bit. Here for good measure. Make these a little darker on his hat. It's almost like a cartoon. You can do this or not. It's totally up to you. There's no right way or wrong way. Okay. Get some more black paint and we'll outline his little outfit here. Shoulder. Use some more black in his beard. Every single one of these is going to come out different too. That's kind of what the fun part about these is. They all have their own little personality. And they all get to wear different outfits. Because, oh, they're so cute. Okay, you guys want him to have hands? Well, let's give him some hands. Usually, I'll put him here. Go over the black. We'll just give him some hands here. Again, this wood is super rigid and really hard to get paint in these spaces. So you are not going to get a straight line, no matter what you do. think I like them better without hands, but whatever. I'm just showing you how I do them. I can make him hold a sign, or I did one, he's holding a honey pot. There's another leprechaun holding a pot of gold. Those are listed on here too, if you guys want to look at them. I feel like when I watch other people on here, they're all hyper and blah blah blah, and I just can't do that. I just can't. I just can't. Okay, I gave him hands just for funsies. We'll do shoes so you guys can see how to do it. Okay, so you just go down to the bottom. It's like a half circle. Fill it in there. Another one right next to it. A little half circle. My paintbrush isn't cooperating with me. Try to make them about the same size. He has 2 shoes. How exciting. Now we're going to give him some little highlights on his little shoes, so it looks more like shoes. Okay, one across the top, another across the top, one straight kind of across the bottom. There you go. He has shoes. There you go, guys. There's Gnome. You see his shoes? That's how you do it. Give it a try. You can make his body skinnier. You can leave his body off completely and just make his beard go all the way down to the bottom of your board. Whichever you want to do. Sorry I've been boring, but I want everybody to paint a gnome. I'm gonna give this away as a giveaway, and my hair is getting in my mouth. That's disgusting. So, okay, bye. Here's my finger.